Harley. Davidson. Hi everyone, welcome to Beyond the Brick. My name is Mike and today we have the review of the Fat Boy. Now, for the most newbie person in bikes, Harley Davidson is a brand that is absolutely well known. I mean, who have not heard about those massive hog bikes? To this day, Harley Davidson is a thing of beauty for everybody that has even the slightest idea about the most iconic, pretty much American bike to date. We have set number 10269 from the Creator Expert line. Age recommendation is 16 plus, 1023 pieces in the box, and the price in the US is gonna be $100. The other prices are now visible on the screen. The box itself is very elegant, with this dark grunge garage tone in the front with some shadows and black wall in the back. Beautiful lighting on that bike, I gotta say it's a perfect picture. The box also provides the dimensions of the model. We have 34 centimeters or 13 inches of length, 21 centimeters or 8 inches of height, and the width is not provided, but you can tell it's a pretty beefy bike given the name Fat Boy. The back of the box gives you some breath of air. There is no more garage, just some open space under the bridge that may be Milwaukee, Wisconsin, when the Harley Davidson HQ is located, or some New York bridge, who knows. There is also some features of the set as usual, which kind of remind us that this is mostly a display set, not a play one, so you have to remember what you're buying. The manual is a beautiful booklet, as you would expect from the Creator Expert sets for AFOs like me. And yes, this is a keeper, mostly because it provides the information you expect there to be from the Harley Davidson history. An old company founded in 1903, went through both world wars and delivered a lot of the bikes for the US military, and then went to become the American motorcycling icon. There is the beautiful timeline of Harley Davidson history up to the point of today, when they are about to develop, or just launch on the market, the first mass-market electric bike called the Livewire. So you can see there's a thing or two you can learn from the manual, and that is why I enjoy these sets the most, because for a newbie, a motorcycle newbie like me, this provides a lot of awesome information and allows me to get to know the set better. And you have probably already guessed, or maybe I have told, who is the designer, Mike Siaki, the best guy in LEGO, for me at least. He designed the Mustang, the Saturn V and many other sets, and yes, he did put his fingers on this beautiful model. I couldn't have been happier seeing that fact, because anything that comes from him is an ultimate favorite of mine, because he never ever makes a bad set pretty much. The manual also has some pages in the middle, in between the instructions, telling you some particular Easter eggs or facts about the pieces that you are building, especially the piston system that was designed with a lot of effort. I think 10 versions were made by Mike to make this right as it is in the set. Okay, now on to the legend, because that's the nickname of the bike. The official name is Softail Fat Boy, Softail being the type of the motorcycle, Fat Boy being the model name, and the legend being the nickname. The Fat Boy was designed by Willie G. Davidson and Louis Netz. The first prototypes have seen the light of day in 1988 and 1989 in the Daytona Bike Week. Then the first production model was introduced to the market in 1990. It is the Softail type bike, which is the iconic name developed by Harley Davidson. Softail meaning that the rear suspension is hidden behind the chassis and usually behind the transmission, which makes this sleek, aggressive look of the bike. Many also say that the name is a homage to the Fat Bob, a previous bike from Harley Davidson that is also one of the legendary, quite popular bikes to date. And many people may recognize the Fat Boy from popular culture, because that's the bike that Arnie was driving in Terminator 2 and its further film of Genesis. The version of the Fat Boy that we have in the set is the 2017 or 2018 Milwaukee-Eight 107 cubic inch engine version. The Fat Boy received a major overhaul in 2017, and that is when the Milwaukee-Eight engine was first introduced. We have the 107 version in the set. There is also the 114 cubic inch version available in bigger bikes. Now, I did a bit of a research. I'm not a mechanic or any sort of bike person, but I know that this bike is supposedly providing about 92 brake horsepower, but in bikes you measure the power in torque, which is 109 pounds per foot or per feet. Please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. Yes, I find the history of Harley quite fascinating, but we should focus about the set. You can see that this one is an absolute looker. Going through the set, we have some insane building techniques, which is kind of a signature thing of Mike Psiaki, and I was enjoying every single bit of it. Just finding the ways he chose to connect some of the panels, like the front headlight, the fuel tank, that teardrop shape fuel tank, and some of the elements around the chassis. You can really tell that this guy is an absolute deserved senior Lego designer. Things that are done to this bike while you're building it kind of make your head scratch. We have the color combination of dark red and gray plus black. The only thing that I do not like here is that they might have gone for maybe some of that silver color. We had some elements of silver finish on the Aston Martin DB5, for example, and those, for example, pipes in silver, maybe chrome finish even so, would look absolutely insane on this bike. Harleys are known for having some chrome finishes and custom parts to make them a bit more shiny, so I wish they had incorporated this somehow in this set. They didn't, but still the looks kind of defend the lack of shiny parts. The sticker situation is okay, not so okay here unfortunately. You guys probably have noticed that there is this 2x4 tile of Harley Davidson logo printed on a red, dark red background, and that is pretty much the only print we are getting in this set. Other elements here are all stickers. Same goes for the rear plate and some extra things that are detailed in this set. I wish it was a more of a print situation here, because this is pretty much the same like with the Mustang. We had like one or few prints and some major elements being stickers. Here only the logo being the print. Maybe there was a licensing request from Harley themselves, but everything else is stickered, which I'm always not a big fan of. Entirely new element here are the solid cast disc wheels. The proper name is the Lakester solid cast disc wheels. And this round shape is the first time appearing in Lego. Interesting thing being here is that you get a single one in the front wheel, and this element is doubled up in the back wheel, giving this Fat Boy tire. By the way, that tire is the most thick, most wide tire ever made in a Lego motorcycle to date. Overall, I'm super happy that Lego paid attention to such an iconic element of the Fat Boy. The cast wheels are kind of a signature thing of the Fat Boys of Harley, and Lego did the same thing, making an iconic element for this and special tires to accommodate the legendary model. The bike is very solid. You can grab it anywhere you want. The frame that is made inside is full-on Technic, which you would expect, and even Mike mentions in the manual that that was the route he was going for. Make a Technic frame and include sort of a modules to go through the pins and other connection points to get the chassis and all the elements of the bike right. And he ultimately succeeded. The bike can be displayed in two ways. Right now you are seeing the stand that is coming with the bike. It is an element that you can easily remove, just getting this gray element from the bottom. And once you do it, you have the kickstand of the bike. That is my actually favorite look, just like you stand the bike in the real thing. So this thing is on a simple joint. You can just retract it as you please. If you wish to have the bike in a straight position, you just attach the stand all together and put it in the front, which makes the front wheel hover a bit, which makes it easy to position the front fork the way you want. Looking at the left side of the motorcycle, you can obviously see the drivetrain. The chain consists of 43 elements in this one, and yes, we have the V-twin engine with working pistons. You don't really see them when moving the bike. The chain of course works and moves the pistons. The pistons are just like the real thing, encapsulated inside the engine, moving the cylinders and so on and so on. The only operation you see is when you get the bike on the side and you can see some elements of the mechanism moving the two pistons inside. The building technique is very clever. Mike, apparently, according to the manual, made about 10 versions of this engine and went with the design we have in the set. Other designs included using the minifigure helmets and some other round elements, but I think the way he did it is the best. Once you get the set and build it, you'll be quite amazed how he pulled that off, and it works very, very smooth. Again, you don't see the pistons moving, you see some of the elements moving here, and you will enjoy this operation. It also kind of makes this gurgling, growling sound that the Harleys are known for. It's not very loud, but it's there, so that is an extra plus. The whole transmission is a solid chunk of grey bricks. You can see the lever for shifting the gears right here. It's always on the left of the bike, and the foot stands for the rider to have and obtain this Harley-esque position as you are used to. You know how the guys ride the Harleys? They always have their feet kind of in the front, and they lean back with straight arms riding their Harley into the sunset. And yep, that is pretty much very well depicted in this set. On the right side of the bike we have what they call the shotgun muffler, because you have both exhausts on one side of the bike, which is another iconic trait of the Fat Boy, and they look magnificent. Great technique used here, a lot of technique connections, elements, whatnot to get this shaping here, the pipes going to the engine, to both cylinders, to get the exhaust from the fumes and so on, and end up in the barrel elements, which give this Fat Boy its name. By the way, I think the rear license plate, please correct me or maybe you have some different idea, is about the Interstate 41, which runs through Wisconsin and actually has its foothold in Milwaukee, the international HQ of Harley Davidson as we know today. The MFG letters, I'm not sure what they mean. There might be some sort of an Easter egg to Lego, or maybe something about manufacturing plant that is still in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You can also see how well the combination of gray, dark red and black bricks is working here. The whole seating of the rider is very smooth for Harleys, and Mike did pull off a great shaping here with those curves, a great looking thing. There is also the smooth transition to the gas tank right here with the logo, the teardrop gas tank. Both builds on both sides are pretty much similar, and you have some extra stickers on the top portraying the dashboard with the speedometer. I think there's the ignition key and some other elements that make this iconic bike. Those are again stickers which I'm not very happy about, but they work pretty well and are incorporated with the build in such a fashion that you don't really mind after looking for a longer time. The logo is there, the 107, and also there is a smaller Harley Davidson logo on just below the cylinders. And yes, a quick reminder is that this is a special Fat Boy logo that is specifically designed for this bike. Harley has a bit of a different logo, but the wings are the trait of the Fat Boy. The real Fat Boy is utilizing the Showa suspension system. Showa is a Japanese company making components for Harley Davidson bikes, and the new Fat Boy is rocking the monoshock rear suspension from Showa and also the front suspension on the fork, which is professionally called the dual bending valve suspension. It is using compressed air valves, which are usually hidden in those fat elements of the front suspension, making the ride very, very smooth. Fat Boy bikes are known for their smooth operation. They are very well chosen cruisers, and you can get this guy on a long trip through Route 66 with no problem, thanks to that beefy suspension. That is why this bike remains one of the most popular in the line of Harley Davidson. I just noticed I moved the side mirrors a bit, but yes, you can of course move them. I'm gonna show you some details of the front handle. And I did really enjoy how this element is built. For the rear view mirrors you have actual silver reflective stickers on both sides, as you can see, and both the clutch and the front brake are also very well built at the tips of the handlebar. We also have the blinkers just hanging there, and I guess blinkers or indicators depending on which country you're in, they're called different And even such mechanical detail that should be there, like the rear brake, is here in form of this lever that is just movable a bit to simulate the operation. I think they, as Mike especially, the designer of the set, really paid attention to make sure everything is in its own place. I also really enjoyed the build of the front mudguard, this element here giving some extra contrast in color, like just like in the real bike. It was quite hard to pull off because normally it's like a curved shape covering the entire top of the front wheel. Here we have a system of triple Technic connection points that go through the main fork towards the handlebar, and they hold both elements. You can see just in front and in the back of the fork, just hiding this gap that is somewhat inside, but it doesn't really distract from the good looks. So a great compromise here, and I really enjoy how he pulled that off. Of course, as you have noticed, the front fork can move freely, so you can position the bike the way you want, and it's only connected by a single Technic rod that's going through a system of holes holding the whole thing together, just like in the real thing. What are the cons then? I'm being super, positive on this set. I really loved it. The experience of building it was super awesome. I mentioned the thing that the stickers are not a thing for me that I would enjoy the most in such set. I think given the fact that they had the Harley logo, they should have made more prints. Please, for the future, if you're making such a great set, make more prints. I know it would be more expensive, but I would gladly pay for extra prints. Also, this set pretty much screams to have a UCS style plaque. Harley Davidson logo is such an iconic logo that you can easily make a plaque out of Lego bricks, pretty much in the shape of the Harley Davidson logo, and that would be a perfect thing to have just next to this set, like right here somewhere, just standing next to it and just being there. We had Stranger Things plaque, why not for such a great model of Harley? And also, given the fact that we have a drivetrain system with working pistons, the suspension on these bikes is also a thing of beauty, and Harley is very proud of it, the Showa suspension I mentioned. So why not introduce some sort of shocks in here to actually imitate some sort of a suspension? I know it would have been a hard thing to pull off, but this is something that should have been in some shape or form introduced in this set just for extra accuracy. Concluding everything, this is not as feature-packed of a model as the Mustang was, not even close to the Aston Martin for sure, but hey, it's a bike, so you can't really hide many functions in this. I definitely can say that they did focus, Mike focused on the looks, and this department is a 11 on 10 for sure. Features not very heavy on this set, but this is a looker and it's supposed to stand on your shelf and just be there, and in that purpose, that set will be an excellent choice. I can say it's gonna fly off the shelves, or maybe ride off the shelves, should I say. All the bike enthusiasts, and heck, even I'm not a bike enthusiast, I am very, very happy having this set here, and it will definitely be a very beautiful thing to have on the shelf. So, given that thinking, I think Lego pulled off a great one here. And on a personal closing remark, I think such sets should exist, and I'm happy they do, because they do introduce some extra information, extra coolness to people like me who are not into that kind of thing, and they are very educational. The manual provides a lot of cool information about Harley. I learned a thing or two, I went to their website, check out their bikes, and now I really want to go to a place, the dealership of Harley in San Diego, to check out all the amazing bikes they have. And again, I'm not a bike person, so Lego did score on me this time once again. And I think many of the customers that will purchase this set will feel the same. I'm glad it happened, and well, Mike, please make more sets because you're doing this in the most excellent way. Alright, and that's gonna be it for this review. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to check out my own channel, The Cool Factor. There's a link below if you want to support my things on YouTube. But about this bike, so happy that Mike Siaki pulled off another great vehicle in a completely different style than the Mustang and his other creations, but hey, he is an excellent designer, so this one is a keeper. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Don't forget to subscribe, to be on the brick right below, and leave a like if you enjoyed this review, or a dislike if you didn't, but I hope you did. Thank you so much for watching again. It was Mike, and I'll see you next time on Beyond the Brick.